Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Timeless Talks, who is Siri. Today, we have a very special guest joining us. He is none other than Siddhartha Gautama, widely known as Buddha. With his profound teachings and philosophy, Buddha has had an immense impact on millions of lives throughout history. Today, we'll dive deep into the life and mind of this great thinker. So, without further ado, let's get started. Siddhartha, could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you, David, for the warm introduction. Greetings to all the listeners of Timeless Talks. It is an honor to be here today and have the opportunity to share my life's journey with you. I was born in the ancient city of Lumbini, in present-day Nepal, over 2,500 years ago. From a young age, I was raised in luxury and shielded from the harsh realities of the world. But as I grew older, I became increasingly aware of the suffering that permeates human existence. Yearning for answers, I embarked on a spiritual quest, leaving behind the comforts of my palace. I traveled through different regions, seeking wisdom from various teachers and immersing myself in deep contemplation. It was during this time that I discovered the profound impact of meditation and introspection on the human mind and spirit. For years, I wandered across the Indian subcontinent, delving into the nature of existence, the causes of suffering, and the path to liberation. Finally, in a moment of deep realization, seated beneath the Bodhi tree, I attained enlightenment and became the Buddha, the awakened one. After attaining enlightenment, I dedicated my life to sharing the path I had discovered with others, offering guidance on how to transcend suffering and find lasting inner peace. I traveled far and wide, from village to village, teaching the principles of compassion, mindfulness, and the Four Noble Truths. Through my teachings, I emphasized the impermanence of all things, the interconnectedness of life, and the importance of cultivating love and understanding. I encouraged individuals to examine their own minds, to find liberation from the cycle of suffering, and to realize their true potential. My teachings, encapsulated in the Dharma, have resonated with countless souls across time and continue to inspire seekers on their own journeys towards self-discovery and enlightenment. So, that is a brief glimpse into my life, from my humble beginnings in Lumbini to the path of enlightenment that I embarked upon and shared with the world. I hope that through our conversation today, we can delve deeper into the wisdom and insights that have guided humanity for centuries.
Siddhartha, your journey to enlightenment is legendary. Could you take us back to that pivotal moment under the Bodhi tree? What motivated you to seek truth and enlightenment?
The moment under the Bodhi tree holds profound significance in my journey towards enlightenment. It was a transformative experience that shaped the course of my life and teachings. Reflecting upon the motivations that drove me to seek truth and enlightenment, I must acknowledge the fundamental reality of human suffering. Witnessing the inevitable pains and struggles of existence, I became deeply aware of the impermanence and unsatisfactory nature of worldly pursuits. In the depths of my heart, I felt a profound compassion for all beings who experience suffering. This compassion fueled my quest to understand the roots of suffering and discover a path to liberation and lasting peace. Motivated by an insatiable thirst for truth, I renounced the luxuries of my palace and embarked on a spiritual journey of self-discovery. I sought wisdom from renowned teachers, immersed myself in rigorous meditation practices, and explored various philosophical and spiritual traditions of my time. However, it was the profound dedication to introspection and meditation under the Bodhi tree that brought me closer to the truth I sought. The tranquility of that sacred space allowed me to dive deep into my own consciousness, to question the nature of reality and the causes of suffering. Through relentless self-reflection, I gradually unraveled the illusions of the ego, attachments, and desires that bind us to a cycle of suffering. The truths I discovered, the Four Noble Truths, revealed the path to liberation, to transcending suffering and attaining enlightenment. Under the Bodhi tree, as the morning star graced the horizon, I experienced the profound awakening that liberated my mind and heart from the chains of ignorance. It was a moment of profound clarity, compassion, and peace, a realization that all beings have the potential to transcend suffering and attain liberation. My motivation throughout this journey was rooted in the boundless love and compassion I felt for all living beings. It was my deep desire to alleviate the sufferings of humanity and guide others towards the path of enlightenment. I share my journey and teachings not as a divine being, but as a fellow seeker and awakened one. My aim is to inspire individuals to embark on their own inner quests, to question their own existence, and to discover the profound truths that can bring about lasting peace and joy. May my journey under the Bodhi tree serve as a guiding light for all those who seek truth and enlightenment.
Buddha, your teachings on the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path have guided countless individuals towards a more enlightened existence. Could you share with us some practical ways in which we can apply these principles in our modern lives?
The teachings of the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path are indeed intended to provide practical guidance for individuals seeking enlightenment and a more meaningful existence in the modern world. In our fast-paced and complex lives, it is essential to find moments of stillness and cultivate a sense of inner calm. Through mindfulness and meditation practices, we can develop a deeper awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and actions. This self-reflection allows us to recognize the causes of our suffering and make conscious choices that lead to greater peace and well-being. The first noble truth reminds us of the inherent existence of suffering in life. By acknowledging and accepting this truth, we can cultivate compassion, both for ourselves and others. This compassionate understanding lays the foundation for the path towards liberation. The second noble truth emphasizes the root cause of suffering, which lies in our attachments, desires, and aversions. It encourages us to examine the nature of our cravings and identify areas where we may be caught in a cycle of dissatisfaction. Through mindful awareness, we can begin to loosen the grip of these attachments, finding freedom in non-attachment and contentment in the present moment. The Eightfold Path provides practical guidance for transforming our thoughts, speech, and actions in a way that aligns with the principles of wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental development. It includes aspects such as right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. In our modern lives, we can apply these principles by cultivating a deep understanding of ourselves and the world around us. We can strive to cultivate intentions rooted in kindness, compassion, and non-harming, both towards ourselves and others. Through mindful speech and actions, we can contribute positively to our relationships and communities, fostering harmony and understanding. Right livelihood encourages us to choose vocations that align with our values and contribute to the well-being of others. It urges us to be mindful of the impact our work has on the world and to seek opportunities to serve and uplift those around us. By integrating mindfulness and meditation into our daily lives, we can cultivate a sense of inner peace, clarity, and resilience. This allows us to navigate the challenges and complexities of the modern world with greater wisdom and equanimity. Ultimately, the practical application of the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path requires conscious effort and continuous self-reflection. It is a lifelong journey of growth, transformation, and awakening. May these timeless teachings inspire us to live with greater awareness, compassion, and harmony.
Throughout history, many famous quotes have been attributed to you. One of the most well-known is, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." Can you elaborate on the deeper meaning behind these words?
These words encapsulate a fundamental teaching that lies at the core of my philosophy. In the midst of our hectic and often turbulent lives, we may find ourselves constantly searching for peace and contentment in external circumstances, be it wealth, status, or material possessions. However, true and lasting peace can only be found within ourselves, in the depths of our own being. The world around us is ever-changing and unpredictable, filled with joys and sorrows, successes and failures. If we rely solely on external factors to bring us happiness and tranquility, we are bound to be disappointed and left feeling unfulfilled. True peace, on the other hand, arises from a deep sense of self-awareness and inner harmony. When I say peace comes from within, I am inviting individuals to turn their attention inward and embark on a journey of self-discovery. It is an invitation to explore our own minds, to cultivate mindfulness and awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and desires. By observing the workings of our own minds, we gain insight into the nature of suffering and the causes of our discontent. In this process of self-reflection, we come to realize that our external circumstances do not define our inner state. We have the capacity to cultivate peace and equanimity regardless of the ups and downs of life. This inner peace is not dependent on the external world conforming to our desires, but rather on our ability to meet the world with acceptance, wisdom, and compassion. The second part of the quote, "Do not seek it without," reminds us that seeking peace and fulfillment through external means is a futile endeavor. The pursuit of material possessions, power, or external validation may provide temporary satisfaction, but it will never lead to lasting peace and contentment. Instead, we are encouraged to look within, to nurture qualities such as mindfulness, compassion, and gratitude. Through practices like meditation, self-reflection, and ethical living, we can cultivate a deep sense of peace that transcends the external circumstances of our lives. Ultimately, the deeper meaning behind these words is an invitation to discover our own inherent capacity for peace and happiness, to realize that the key to true contentment lies within ourselves. By nurturing our inner landscape, we can navigate the external world with greater resilience, compassion, and clarity. May these words serve as a reminder to turn inward, to cultivate peace within ourselves, and to radiate that peace outward into the world.
Buddha, you emphasize the impermanence and suffering inherent in human existence. Some critics argue that your teachings focus too much on the negative aspects of life. How would you respond to such criticisms?
Indeed, my teachings center around the recognition of the impermanence and inherent suffering that permeate human existence. It is true that at first glance, this emphasis on suffering may appear pessimistic or negative to some. However, it is essential to understand the intention behind this emphasis. My teachings do not seek to dwell solely on the negative aspects of life, but rather to awaken individuals to the reality of human existence and to offer a path towards liberation from suffering. By acknowledging the impermanence of all things and the inherent unsatisfactory nature of worldly experiences, we are not promoting a gloomy outlook on life. Instead, we are encouraging a deeper understanding of the nature of reality. This understanding serves as a catalyst for inner transformation and the pursuit of true happiness. It is through the recognition of suffering that we develop empathy and compassion for ourselves and others. When we understand the universal nature of suffering, we are inspired to alleviate it and cultivate a more harmonious and compassionate society. Moreover, my teachings on suffering are intricately linked to the concept of impermanence. The understanding that all things are subject to change allows us to embrace the transient nature of life with greater equanimity. It teaches us to let go of attachments and expectations that inevitably lead to disappointment and suffering. In essence, my teachings are not intended to dwell on the negative, but rather to offer a profound understanding of the human condition and a path towards liberation and true happiness. By recognizing the impermanence and inherent suffering, we can cultivate wisdom, compassion, and inner peace. Ultimately, my teachings focus on the potential for transformation and the alleviation of suffering, both on an individual level and within society as a whole. They provide guidance on how to navigate the challenges of life with resilience, clarity, and a deep sense of purpose. In embracing the reality of suffering, we open the doors to a more meaningful and fulfilling existence. It is through the understanding of suffering that the potential for true awakening and liberation arises.
Your teachings have had a profound influence on spirituality, but they have also been interpreted and adapted in various ways over the centuries. Are there any misconceptions or misinterpretations about your philosophy that you would like to address?
One common misconception is the notion that Buddhism promotes a detached and apathetic attitude towards life. Some have misunderstood the concept of non-attachment as a complete disengagement from the world or a lack of compassion for others. However, this is not the essence of my teachings. Non-attachment does not imply indifference or a lack of care for the well-being of others. On the contrary, it emphasizes the importance of cultivating compassion and genuine concern for all beings. The practice of non-attachment invites us to free ourselves from clinging and craving, which often lead to suffering. It allows us to develop a deeper sense of interconnectedness and empathy. Another misconception is the idea that Buddhism promotes a passive acceptance of the status quo or an escape from societal responsibilities. While my teachings do emphasize inner transformation and the pursuit of liberation from suffering, they also advocate for active engagement in the world. Buddhism encourages individuals to cultivate virtuous qualities and engage in actions that promote well-being, harmony, and justice. It is not about withdrawing from the challenges of life, but rather about transforming ourselves and society for the better. Additionally, the concept of emptiness, often misunderstood as nihilism, can lead to misconceptions. Emptiness refers to the interdependent and ever-changing nature of reality. It invites us to see beyond the surface appearances and recognize the interconnectedness of all phenomena. Emptiness does not negate the existence of things, but challenges our fixed and rigid conceptualizations. It is essential to approach my teachings with an open mind and a willingness to explore their deeper meaning. As with any philosophy or spiritual tradition, interpretations can vary, and it is important to discern the essence and intent behind the teachings. Ultimately, my teachings aim to guide individuals towards the path of liberation, wisdom, and compassion. They encourage self-reflection, introspection, and the cultivation of inner peace, while also emphasizing the interconnectedness of all beings and the responsibility to alleviate suffering in the world.
Buddha, your renunciation of worldly possessions and the ascetic lifestyle you initially pursued are well documented. Looking back, do you believe this extreme path was necessary for your enlightenment, or would you encourage a different approach for seekers today?
Reflecting upon my own journey and the path I took towards enlightenment, I must acknowledge that the extreme asceticism and renunciation of worldly possessions were indeed part of my personal exploration and quest for truth. In the depths of my own search, I sought to understand the nature of suffering and the root causes that perpetuate it. By subjecting myself to extreme austerity and self-denial, I intended to transcend the attachments and desires that bind individuals to a cycle of suffering. However, through my experiences, I realized that this path alone did not lead to the ultimate realization I sought. After years of rigorous self-mortification, I came to understand the importance of balance and the middle way. I recognized that neither extreme indulgence nor extreme asceticism could provide the answers I sought. It was through this realization that I abandoned the path of self-deprivation and embraced a more balanced approach. The middle way, as I later taught, emphasizes the avoidance of extremes and encourages individuals to navigate a path between sensual indulgence and self-mortification. It promotes the cultivation of mindfulness, ethical conduct, and mental clarity as essential components of the journey towards enlightenment. While my personal experience may have involved extreme practices, I do not necessarily encourage seekers today to follow the same path. The circumstances and contexts of each individual are unique, and the path to enlightenment may manifest differently for different individuals. In today's world, I would encourage seekers to embark on a path of self-discovery and self-transformation that is attuned to their own needs and circumstances. The middle way remains a guiding principle, reminding us to find balance amidst the complexities of modern life. Seekers today can integrate mindfulness and self-reflection into their daily lives, fostering inner peace, compassion, and wisdom. They can engage in ethical conduct, showing kindness and empathy towards all beings. They can explore various spiritual practices, study sacred texts, and seek guidance from wise teachers and mentors. Enlightenment is not limited to a specific path or practice. It is a deeply personal journey that requires sincere intention, perseverance, and an open mind. Each individual must find their own way, embracing the teachings that resonate with their hearts and minds. Ultimately, the goal remains the same: to alleviate suffering and awaken to the true nature of reality. By approaching the path with sincerity, humility, and an open heart, seekers today can discover their own unique path to enlightenment, finding the peace and wisdom that lie within.
Your teachings emphasize the importance of mindfulness and being fully present in the moment. However, in today's fast-paced, technology-driven world, many struggle to find balance and cultivate mindfulness. What advice would you offer to those seeking to incorporate mindfulness into their daily lives?
David, your question touches upon a profound challenge faced by many in the modern world. In an age of constant distractions and rapid changes, finding balance and cultivating mindfulness can indeed be a struggle. Yet, it is precisely in these demanding times that the practice of mindfulness becomes all the more essential. First and foremost, it is important to recognize that mindfulness is not an all-or-nothing state. It is a gradual process, cultivated through patient effort and repeated practice. I can give you few suggestions to help incorporate mindfulness into daily life. Begin with simple awareness. Start by paying attention to your breath, the sensations in your body, and the thoughts and emotions that arise within you. Cultivating this awareness can serve as a foundation for mindfulness in every moment. Engage in mindful activities. Infuse mindfulness into everyday activities such as walking, eating, or washing dishes. Pay attention to the sensations, movements, and details of these actions, bringing your full presence to each moment. Create dedicated time for mindfulness. Set aside specific periods each day to engage in formal mindfulness practices such as meditation or deep breathing exercises. These practices allow you to develop a deeper connection with the present moment and train your mind in focused attention. Utilize reminders throughout your day to bring yourself back to the present. It can be as simple as placing a small object on your desk or setting regular alarms on your phone to prompt you to pause, breathe, and reconnect with the present moment. Limit distractions. Be mindful of the external influences that may divert your attention. Consider setting boundaries with technology, allocating specific periods of time for uninterrupted focus, and cultivating quality connections with others. Cultivate self-compassion. Be gentle with yourself as you embark on this journey. Mindfulness is not about perfection or eliminating all distractions. It is about bringing a kind and non-judgmental awareness to your experiences, including the challenges that may arise. Remember, mindfulness is not confined to a specific place or time. It is a way of being that can be integrated into every aspect of your life. As you practice, you may notice moments of clarity, inner calm, and a deeper appreciation for the richness of each experience. In this fast-paced world, mindfulness can be an anchor, guiding you back to the present moment and helping you find clarity amidst the chaos. Embrace the practice with patience and persistence, and you will gradually discover its transformative power in your daily life.
Buddha, throughout history, numerous followers and scholars have dedicated themselves to spreading and interpreting your teachings. Are there any particular individuals or movements that you feel have best represented your message?
David, over the course of history, many individuals and movements have dedicated themselves to spreading and interpreting my teachings. It is heartening to witness the enduring impact of these teachings and the diverse ways in which they have been embraced and shared. While I hesitate to single out any particular individual or movement as the sole representation of my message, there have been notable figures who have embodied the essence of compassion, wisdom, and the pursuit of enlightenment. They have, in their own unique ways, contributed to the understanding and dissemination of the teachings. One such figure is the great Indian Emperor Ashoka, who ruled during the 3rd century BC. After his conversion to Buddhism, Ashoka transformed his reign into a model of governance guided by principles of nonviolence, social welfare, and ethical conduct. He sought to spread the Dharma through his patronage of Buddhist institutions and the edicts he inscribed on pillars throughout his empire. Ashoka's efforts played a significant role in promoting the teachings and fostering a more compassionate society. Another individual who made a profound impact was Nagarjuna, a Buddhist philosopher and scholar from India who lived during the 2nd century CE. Nagarjuna expounded on the concept of emptiness, known as shunyata, and its implications for understanding the nature of reality. His writings and teachings have been instrumental in deepening the understanding of Buddhist philosophy, particularly the middle way, known as Madhyamka teachings. In more recent times, figures like Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Buddhist monk and peace activist, have tirelessly worked to make the teachings accessible and relevant to the contemporary world. His teachings on mindfulness, compassion, and engaged Buddhism have touched the lives of many and inspired individuals to apply Buddhist principles in the pursuit of peace, social justice, and environmental sustainability. However, it is important to recognize that my teachings extend far beyond any individual or specific movement. The true essence of the teachings lies in the hearts and minds of those who seek truth and walk the path of understanding. The teachings are not confined to any particular time, place, or person but are open to all who are willing to embark on the journey of self-discovery and awakening. Ultimately, it is through each individual's sincere practice, understanding, and embodiment of the teachings that my message finds its most profound expression. It is the collective effort of countless beings, past and present, that ensures the continued vitality and relevance of the teachings for the benefit of all sentient beings.
As a figure of great wisdom and enlightenment, many people look up to you as a spiritual guide. Are there any mistakes or regrets from your past that you would like to share with us?
David, as a seeker of truth and a guide on the path to enlightenment, I have traversed a journey of self-discovery, filled with moments of insight and growth. While I do not dwell on regrets, I recognize the value of reflecting upon the lessons learned from my own experiences. In my early years, I was born into a life of luxury and privilege as a prince within the confines of a palace. However, the opulence and material comforts of that existence could not shield me from the realities of human suffering and the impermanence of life. Witnessing the inevitability of old age, sickness, and death, I embarked on a quest to understand the nature of existence and alleviate the suffering inherent within it. In my pursuit, I initially embraced an ascetic lifestyle, engaging in extreme practices of self-mortification in the belief that severe physical austerities would lead me to liberation. It was a path that I believed would bring me closer to the truth and ultimate enlightenment. However, through personal experience, I came to realize that such extreme practices did not hold the key to liberation. In retrospect, I understand that my journey required a balance between self-discipline and compassionate understanding. I realized that true enlightenment lies not in the extremes but in the middle way, a path of moderation and harmony. It is a path that transcends the dichotomy of indulgence and self-denial, embracing the interconnectedness of all things. If there is any lesson I would share with others, it is the importance of finding balance in one's spiritual journey. It is not about seeking perfection or dwelling in regrets for past actions, but rather about learning from experiences and embracing the present moment with wisdom and compassion. In the grand tapestry of life, mistakes and regrets are but stepping stones on the path to understanding. They serve as reminders of our shared humanity and the imperfections we all possess. By acknowledging our past errors and cultivating self-awareness, we can grow, evolve, and extend compassion not only to ourselves but also to others. Remember, the path to enlightenment is not about perfection but about sincere intention, continual self-reflection, and compassionate action. Each moment offers an opportunity for growth, forgiveness, and the unfolding of our true nature. May we all walk this path with humility, wisdom, and the capacity to embrace our shared humanity.
Buddha, your teachings have had a profound impact on the world, but there are also criticisms that your philosophy encourages complacency and detachment from societal issues. How would you respond to those who argue that your teachings lack a sense of social responsibility?
It is true that my teachings emphasize the pursuit of inner peace, enlightenment, and liberation from suffering. However, it is important to understand that these aspirations are not meant to encourage complacency or detachment from the world and its challenges. In my teachings, I have always emphasized the interconnectedness of all beings and the interdependent nature of existence. I taught that true enlightenment comes not just from personal liberation but also from the cultivation of compassion and understanding for all sentient beings. Compassion is the foundation upon which a just and harmonious society is built. When I spoke of detachment, it was not a call to abandon societal issues or turn a blind eye to the suffering of others. Rather, it was an invitation to detach ourselves from the attachments and cravings that bind us to suffering. It is through this inner liberation that we gain the clarity and wisdom necessary to engage with the world in a skillful and compassionate manner. True social responsibility arises from a place of deep understanding and empathy. It is not about imposing external solutions, but about transforming ourselves and our actions from within. It is about cultivating kindness, compassion, and a sense of interconnectedness that extends beyond the boundaries of our individual lives. My teachings encourage individuals to take responsibility for their own actions and to contribute to the well-being of society. By embodying the qualities of loving kindness, generosity, and ethical conduct, we create a ripple effect that can inspire positive change in the world around us. I have always believed that societal progress is not achieved solely through external reforms or ideological movements. It requires a collective awakening, a shift in consciousness that acknowledges our shared humanity and the need for compassionate action. So, to those who argue that my teachings lack a sense of social responsibility, I would invite them to delve deeper into the core of my message. I taught that true liberation is found through the integration of personal transformation and compassionate engagement with the world. Let us remember that true social responsibility arises from the union of wisdom and compassion, from the understanding that the well-being of individuals and the welfare of society are intertwined. May we all strive to be agents of positive change, cultivating both inner peace and active engagement for the betterment of all.
That concludes our questions for today's Who is Who interview with Siddhartha Gautama. I hope this insightful conversation has shed light on the life, teachings, and profound wisdom of Buddha, inspiring us all to embrace mindfulness, compassion, and the pursuit of enlightenment in our own lives. Thank you for joining us on this extraordinary journey through time. Stay tuned for more thought-provoking discussions on Timeless Talks. Who is His Siri? Until next time, remember to seek wisdom from the past to guide us forward into the future. Be well, my friends.